often students will identify that there are certain finger combinations that are just not quite clean. A really good example, E to F sharp, and it starts to sound where you kind of get this dra, 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 these kind of like in-between little notes going on. And students, meaning well, practice and practice and practice and repeat, 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 but they're missing this one really critical and important step. And that is to check what they're doing with their hand position. You see, you're practicing it over and over and over again, but 10 to 1, you're probably doing it with a tight or unnatural, unhealthy hand position, and this is really getting in the way. There's two big mistakes in particular that I see students make. One, the thumb is just too far forward. So we have this thumb that sticks out, juts out in the front of the flute, and then you land up with a hand position where your fingers are kind of in little blocks behind your thumb. And seriously, just try this out. It is so unbelievably unnatural. We would normally never play or tap our fingers like this. If I play like that, you will immediately hear it's just not possible to get those fingers to move together. Rather, we want to get the thumb either underneath the pipe or a little bit further back behind the pipe at sort of, well, 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, depending on which perspective you're looking at this. But either way, a little bit further back. There's no one size fits all here. Your thumb is different to everybody else's, so you need to find what works for you. The other big mistake that students make here is that they have their thumb, their right hand thumb, too far over to the right. So sometimes even all the way under that middle finger. And the big problem here is, well, number one, it actually closes off this very, very important area of your hand called your carpal tunnel, where your nerves and your tendons go through. Really critical. And to be honest, if you play like this for long enough, you are in danger of actually hurting yourself. So very, very, very important from a health perspective. But the other big thing that it does is it kind of tilts the balance of the hand over this way, and it makes the fingers have to travel different distances to go down. And again, you can guess what's going to happen. You're just not going to get even fingers. So if you practice for hours and hours and hours with bad hand position, you're kind of just practicing in the wrong thing. That's why I always say it's not what you practice, it's really and truly how you practice it. So get that thumb underneath your index fingers, sometimes even a bit further up. Again, there's no one size fits all prescriptive position here. Just find a position where your carpal tunnel is nice and open, where you can get a nice balance in that hand so that your fingers can move equal distances away from the keys and can find a nice free and natural movement.